Dave Asprey from Bulletproof everything. Dave, do we have Dave Asprey?
I'm here.
Where are you? There you are, Dave. And you're in your bunker. And wait, is your child, what's going on with your kid now?
Yeah, you should always have children because you can trade them with other people for food. It's great. Oh, hey, Alan. I didn't know you were listening.
Yeah.
Like you completely didn't know, right?
Yeah, he's curious about this thing, so he's hanging out and listening.
What's going on? It's great to have you guys here. Hey, Dave, do me a favor.
What?
What's going to happen with your conference, your big giant conference that you do every year?
Well, we pushed it out till July. And
right?
That's hopefully going to happen in July. This is the annual biohacking conference. If this whole shit show is done by July, but it may be pushed out beyond then. And I got to tell you, the number of events companies who are going to go out of business because of this is non-trivial. I would guess half of them are going to go down.
Okay, here's my bet. My bet is South by Southwest does not recover.
I think you're right. And they shouldn't actually. That's become a complete shit show for the last like 5 years. Sorry.
No, you're right. It's actually not an impressive event. And I think that there by itself is going to have issues. But you're right. A ton of other events are going to go under. Hey, Dave Asprey's joining us. Your new book is what, Dave?
My new book is Superhuman. And this is how you can live to at least 180. And not kidding, New York Times bestseller list for a couple weeks in a row, backed by tons of studies. And first thing you got to do is understand that it's actually possible because we can do 120 today. And if we can't do 50% better in the next 100 years, it's because, well, a comet hit the planet or maybe a virus wiped us all out, but not this one.
Not this one.
So
this is not disease X?
No, this isn't disease X. The fact that's not even that likely. It's actually, my biggest concern would be that we might run out of topsoil. Like you have to have really a long time frame. You go back 100 years. We were fighting World War I on horses 105 years ago. I mean, they had mechanized stuff as well, but we still had cavalry. Like the world has changed so dramatically. You put on your 100-year hat. For 20 years, I've run an anti-aging nonprofit research group. I know the best people in the world who've been working for decades on this. And the people listening to this thing, a great portion of you are going to live past 100 and be comfortable, walk around under your own power. You're going to know your own name and you'll be independent and diaper free. Basically, the picture of old age you have is wrong.
By the way, I saw tons of adult diapers at Costco if you need those. Hey, Dave, the reason I wanted you on today is I know that you're quarantined. We're quarantined over here. A lot of places in the world. Bebop, who's sitting in Milan right now. I just saw him on the Zoom call. There's people from all over the world. This is a great time to biohack ourselves to become better and even stronger by the time we get out. So let's say we're at our home for at least 4 weeks. What should we be doing for the next 4 weeks to make ourselves gladiators by the time we're done with this?
The number one thing you could do is sleep better. Right? And this means don't watch Netflix late at night. It's not that expensive to sleep better, but you make your lights dim, and after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, just chill out. Don't have coffee in the afternoon. Don't eat tons of sugar at night. If you just do that and let yourself wake up at a normal time, that's going to transform things. If you have a hard time going to sleep because your mind is racing about, oh, what the hell's going to happen to my company? What the heck's going to happen to my family? And all that sort of stuff, which is, they're real thoughts. There's deep breathing exercises. You'll find them online. I've written extensively about sleep hacks, daveasprey.com. And I have a blog post about something called the Ujjayi breath, Ujai or Uja. Darn it, spell checking breaks that. Ujai or Ujay. And I'm going to send this to everyone in the chat window here. And oh, good God, stupid Siri or whatever, spell check. There we go. So you can find that on my site there. And what'll happen is that kicks your body out of sympathetic fight or flight into parasympathetic. It happens very quickly. In fact, I'll teach you guys right now if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is, you put your head on your pillow and you just keep doing this until you fall asleep. It's usually within 2 or 3 minutes. My average sleep latency time that I measure on my ring is about 3 minutes. So what you do is you close your mouth and you breathe in through your nose, but you want to almost feel like you're about to snore. Like if you were snoring, you'd be like, and it doesn't sound very attractive. But there's another sound like a seashell that's like, so you're kind of squeezing the thing up here in the back of your throat, and then you can breathe out slowly. So it's breathing in and out through your nose is better. If you have to breathe out through your mouth, that's fine. You always breathe in through your nose. That Ujjayi breath is a straight up hack to go to sleep faster, and it's totally worth doing, and it's completely free.
So
and
you're sleeping better. I got that. What other things can we do?
Okay.
To sleep?
Next
By
up,
the way, people in the chat are saying 4 weeks. We're talking 8 weeks. This might be a 2 to 4 month in the house. So we got some good time to really bulletproof ourselves.
You really do. And in fact, it's a time to get organized, get all your shit together. But you're also going to be tempted to have some wine because, hey, it's fun. Don't drink. Drinking lowers immunity. It just does. So you're going to have to set that stuff aside. The good news is that your wine will be even more valuable 2 months from now than it was today. So you don't have to drink it. Okay. I'm not even kidding. You might say, I'm going to go, eat a bunch of fried stuff and all that. Don't do that either. So those are the things that are really going to mess with your immunity in a way that you don't want. I'm also going to recommend that you really limit or get rid of dairy protein. You're fine on butter, and even if you're looking at something like whey protein, you handle it fine, that's all right. But casein and milk itself adds a lot of mucus into your body, and you don't want to do that right now, because if you do get the virus and you end up getting sick from it, what ends up happening is your lungs basically fill up with mucus. So you might as well kind of back off on that a little bit right now. And people are saying, should you fast or should you not fast? And if you've read the Bulletproof Diet or you do Bulletproof Coffee, intermittent fasting is in large part where it is today because this is one of the first books about it. Intermittent fasting is great if you're a guy and you're not highly stressed. So if you got good night's sleep, you're not terribly stressed. All right, wake up, have some coffee for breakfast. Maybe it's bulletproof, maybe it's not, but no protein, no carbs for sure in the morning. And then you wait until 2 o'clock. You could do this every day if you're feeling pretty good. But if you get a little sniffle, it's okay to have some protein and some fat for breakfast. Carbs are not a good breakfast.
I take protein every day. You're saying no whey protein. Stay away from whey.
I think that for a lot of, so whey protein can be good for you if you just do 2 scoops max per day, if you respond well to it. A good number of people actually get clogged up from it. So if you handle whey protein, just 2 a day, that'll give you your detox for glutathione, which is good for you, and immune stimulation. More than that, though, is actually going to create inflammation. You don't want too much whey protein.
I'm better with, I like the casein protein I have a problem with.
Yep.
What's it, the ISO protein? I'm much better.
Yeah.
Specific protein that you like utilizing? Do you have a bulletproof protein?
I use collagen protein, and this is the one. Collagen's cool. Like, we kind of created that category. Collagen is non-inflammatory for the vast majority of people, and it works really well. And it's in our protein bars. You can put it in your coffee and all that sort of thing.
Good. Tell me,
it has no flavor in coffee. Most protein
everything has flavor. It does.
Dude, if you put it in coffee and I did a side-by-side comparison, you wouldn't know which one it was. Right. And here's the deal. Most collagen protein tastes like socks. It's gross. But we had to make a special thing. Like, we went through a manufacturing process. So I'll tell you, if you get my stuff that's unflavored and you put it in coffee or anything else, it does not change the consistency. It doesn't turn into thick, and it doesn't turn into this nasty tasting whatever. So it's very neutral. But I'm not trying to sell you guys my protein. All I'm saying is, don't eat sugar. It suppresses immunity, and it's bad for you.
Okay, let's do this real quick. Yeah. I know Peter Hurley is watching us. You know Peter.
Yeah.
One of the best photographers in the world. He's sitting there in New York, and I just talked to him. He has done, he's quarantined himself away from his family because he just came back from Australia. And he's not feeling the best. I'm not sure if he's got the potential virus or he's just run down. He's been doing a lot of, he's got some sweets. He's got a lot of peanut butter and things like that. Is he hindering himself from getting better, or is he just going in the right direction?
So if sweets are not going to be good, and here's the interesting perspective, though. Sweets always suppress immunity. And this is something I haven't even written about this yet. It's in progress. for a blog post. There are studies out there that show that if you have a bacterial infection, going in ketosis and not eating carbs will make you heal faster. If you have a viral infection, having some carbs will help you heal faster, but not sugar. And this is because your immune system requires blood glucose to work effectively to fight viruses. But if you have bacteria present, they'll eat glucose in your blood. So bottom line is, if you think you're getting sick, you want to definitely not eat any sugar and have moderate to low carbs, white rice, sweet potatoes, if you handle well potatoes, stuff like that, and not a lot of it. You don't have that, oatmeal for breakfast and a sandwich for lunch and more for dinner. We're talking for dinner, have the carbs.
Okay. Last thing before you go. I called you, I FaceTime you all the time, and I got you while you were laying on, it looked like a hospital bed, and there was a doctor and a nurse doing something to your head. What the heck was going on?
That's my latest biohack I'm working on. So I will oftentimes go through elective medical procedures that make you live longer or give you other things that your body otherwise wasn't doing. So that was the latest of them.
What is it? Come on. What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to tell you guys later after I put out all the videos about it, Ken.
Just a little. Give us a
No
sample.
cheating. No cheating. Nope. That one was almost a $50,000 procedure. And I've got a whole series of videos and the whole thing coming out.
It has a little to do with your hair.
So absolutely. I'm looking at Bill's comments here about body organs possibly. Hey, I did see a question though here about somebody saying, where did it just go? About some Michael from Physique FX. How's you guys doing? I want to talk about, I don't know what all Michael's recommending from Physique FX. I want to talk about exercise for a little while, Ken, in the time we've got, because this is important.
I'm going to go to the bathroom. Talk about it.
No. Hope everything comes out all right. What? You guys didn't even laugh? Come on. Glenn laughed. The rest of you, screw you guys. All right. So what's going on with exercise is that exercise makes you weak. That's okay. It's supposed to. It creates a hormetic effect so then you can become stronger. If you're already weak, what happens? Well, then you can use exercise to make yourself weaker, which you don't want to do. So what I want you to do is wake up in the morning and look at how am I doing today? You got a little sniffly, not feeling so good? Hop in the sauna, take a hot bath, and don't do a cold shower, and don't go on a hard workout. You wake up in the morning, you're feeling good? Great. Push yourself that day. But now is the time, if there ever was a time, to not be overtrained, and this is that time. And so many of the kinds of people who are likely to come to metal, including me, are the kind of like, I'm gonna go for it. Like I'm gonna go kill it today. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna push through. Here's the deal: you may have to push through something that's viral, and that's all right. Your body's meant to do that, but you don't want to do it right after a cold shower, right after a fast, and right after a heavy workout, because all of those are biological stressors, and we use them as tools to make ourselves stronger. You've done that already, maybe, to make yourself stronger. So now you're stronger, so you can handle the burden of a viral load. But if instead it's like, oh, I made myself stronger, I'm going to pound myself with all these practices that I recommend for when you're well, and then I'm going to be getting sick while I do it, you're going to lower your odds of being healthy. So for people who are going to say, oh, exercise is going to save you, actually the data is pretty poor on that. The amount of exercise you need every day, and this is good news if you're inside, you need 20 minutes of movement a day. Okay, this means walking around for 20 minutes a day. You can be on the treadmill, you can do some jumping jacks, whatever. And then twice a week, you need something that's going to make you either collapse, shaking, or throw up for about 10 minutes. In other words, you could sprint.
Can we unmute Peter Hurley, please? Peter wanted to say something. Peter Hurley, can we unmute him? And we'll find out. Peter wanted to contribute to that conversation for a second. Peter?
Where's Peter?
Oh no, I just wanted to say, look at this. They're sending me like all these cookies and stuff, and I've got, your stuff. So I'm like, and I was in ketosis like last week, but I got back from Australia and I was like, miserable, and I'm under the weather, and I was like, so I was just like,
all right. So if you can still get deliveries there for what you want in New York, I would I would recommend immediately taking high dose vitamin C. And there's a protocol. All of you should know this. In China, when I'm talking high dose, you're going to be taking, what are those 1 gram pills?
1,000 milligrams. Yeah.
Great.
Gram.
So they're 1 gram. So you're going to start out with 4 of those.
Okay.
And if you don't shit your pants, you're going to take 4 more. And if you don't shit your pants, you're going to take 4 more until, you're like, okay, I'll be right back, guys. And that's called bowel tolerance. You guys can Google bowel tolerance vitamin C therapy. This is how you actually cure a virus or anything else with vitamin C, or at least make yourself highly resilient. And you keep taking enough vitamin C that you almost have the runs, right? This is megadose vitamin C treatment. And we have a dose response curve it's called asymptotic, which means until you get up to that dose, it isn't that effective.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you can sit there. So what you do when you do it, and all of you should know about doing this, and you need to have several bottles of vitamin C around and a few extra for your family. And what will happen there is that can really make a difference. In China, South Korea, they're using intravenous vitamin C, and it's saving people's lives left and right. In the US, it's considered as if it doesn't work, therefore, like it can't work, therefore it doesn't, some sort of weird science. There are people who do IV vitamin C. See that orange fridge behind me? I've got IV vitamin C in there in case we need it. But in a quarantine, you can't get it, but the oral dose is going to work for you.
Hey, Dave, real quick, I want to bring up before you go, people should be checking out your Instagram. You've been doing Instagram Lives.
Yes.
I saw you with Peter Diamandis yesterday.
Yeah, Dave.Asprey is my Instagram handle. There's a big thing with Peter Diamandis. And I also just did a thing on Bulletproof Radio. There's 40 things that I listed. I think it was 40. And the transcript is on daveasprey.com that are shown to stop inflammation from something called IL-6. This is the inflammatory cytokine that goes nuts if you get the virus infection. And here's the thing I want you all to think about. We have all this stuff about, we have to, stop the surge, flatten the curve. Okay. Here's the other way to flatten the curve that no one in the U.S. medical system talks about, and it's pissing me off. It's that if you can do something that means you don't have to go to the hospital at all, we also flatten the curve. In fact, there wasn't a curve of hospital room visits. And that's your job, is to say, if I start to get sick, how do I make so I don't get very sick? How do we build resilience? This is the way we don't make this an 18-month problem. We make it a 3-month problem. And it is largely by modulating inflammatory things in the body, like IL-6. Check out that podcast. It's mostly herbs and foods. And these are things that we know stop inflammation. That is the specific type that are going to get you.
Someone's asking, is there a certain brand of vitamin C?
Anything you can get right now is going to be better than nothing else. It's starting to sell out.
Okay, we're going to do it. Dave Asprey, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
See you guys.
I also take 6 vitamin C.
Yeah,
there
he
you
does
go.
it too.
As long as he's doing it, then we're going to do it. Okay, that was awesome. Dave Asprey, we have incredible people joining us.